Hi, I'm Melita, and this is my channel, The Midnight Librarian. Today I'll be talking about my February TBR. If I sound a little nasally or a little congested, it's because I am getting over a cold, so my apologies. There's only so much I can do. I was actually feeling and sounding better the last couple days, and for some reason this morning it came back a little bit. Hoping it's just because it's a little chilly today, so I have my coffee to keep me warm, but I'm really hoping I'm not getting sick again. February. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm a little, I'm excited, but I'm a little intimidated. Mostly because February, January, I'm pre-filming this before February. We're still in January, but I have been doing so good in terms of my reading. I'm gonna knock on wood just in case I jinx it, but I feel like I am on a roll, and I want to roll that right into February, and I'm so motivated to read all the things. I have a stack of books that I would like to get to, and I'm hoping to be able to get to, but I'm also trying to remind myself that there are less days in February than in any other month, so I'm not gonna have as much time. I am also going on vacation in February, hopefully. There are some things in the works. Ultimately, my partner and I hope to go on vacation. However, there are some things that happened in January that we hope don't affect that, but we will understand if it does, if that makes any sense. Unfortunately, it's not our business to tell. So we hope to go on vacation for about a week in February. It's our anniversary month. It's not Valentine's Day. I will say that. But it is Valentine's week, and unfortunately that typically means that everywhere is packed and everywhere is more expensive. We do plan on going away for a week. Typically that would mean vacation time. You would think that would mean that I would have more time in terms of reading. Not necessarily the case. When I'm with my partner, I want to be with him. I'm fine with doing stuff with my hands, but so long as my ears are open to him and I am paying attention to him, that's just something I want to respect. To be able to be together, though I know that we do have times where we end up wanting to do our own thing, and that's perfectly fine, but I still want to be open and receptive of him. We'll see just how much time I get for reading. I don't think I'll have much of any, but I am hoping to have the same motivation in February. So if you haven't seen my TBRs before, hi, welcome. I take these packs of Pokemon cards. I was gifted a bunch of them. And each Pokemon type has a prompt attached to them, and I pick a book based off that prompt. So it tends to be a mixed bag. And in January, I started doing this thing where instead of all physical books on my TBR, it's a mix of physical and audio, and that has seemed to work really well. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna have my playlist of these TBRs down in the description down below if you want to go check that out. I think October I ended up doing a revamp of some of the prompts just because it made more sense to me. I am gonna add to one of them for the water prompt. It is to read a book that is set in or around water. I'm also gonna add that there's water on the cover, or it has to do with water of some sort. Just because I don't think I have as much water books as I thought I did. One that I'm always interested in. It tends to be ones that it's one that I am finding that I'm struggling with fulfilling every month. So far I've been managing fine, but I feel like it's going to be becoming a problem. So I'm just going to add that so long as it has anything to do with water, or there's water on the cover, I'm going to count it. All that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the prompts. Oh, no, I lied. There is one more thing. So I said that I had a stack of books that I would like to read, so they're like hopefuls, but I also have challenges that I would like to fulfill. I say this knowing that I haven't completed one of the challenges for myself in January. Now, I didn't talk about this in January because I was hesitant about challenges this year, because the last couple of years I've been giving myself challenges, reading tomes, the Buzzwordathon, etc., and it's not been working out well. Well, for some reason this motivation has gotten me going, I can do these challenges this year, so we'll see how far I can actually get with these challenges. Again, Buzzwordathon is one of them. So that being said, I haven't finished the buzzword for January, but it's not yet February, so we still have time. G from the Book Roast has put out a magical readathon year challenge thing. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure through reading prompts. So that's exciting, which I have finished for January, and that's probably a reason why I'm excited for it. So there's that. I'm also thinking I need to read at least one book of the month book per month. So we'll see if I can get all those out of the way. Otherwise as well, now that's it. Let's get into this. Okay, here's my first one. That is a trainer card single strike scroll of the Fanged Dragon. Okay, so trainer cards are mood reads. Last month, what I ended up doing was just putting the this trainer card, not this particular, but the trainer card aside, and just held on to it for the month and like used it for whatever mood read I felt like having. Which was perfectly fine. That's what the card's for. Before, in 2022, I put it aside until the last for the last card, basically. And basically, when I went through this deck, I chose whatever book I wasn't able to get on there that I had wanted to read. So we'll see what I end up doing with this one. For now, I'm putting it aside. Next. This is Flaffy, which is the second evolution of Mareep, and it is a lightning Pokemon, and this is to read a quick read, whatever that means to me. Quick reads for me tend to be graphic novels. This isn't gonna look like a quick read though, I will warn you. So I'm gonna put Oaksy. The reason why I say it doesn't look like a quick read is because it's a thick graphic novel. So I believe that this graphic novel was translated, or was it translated? No, it's from the heart of Finnish folklore comes a breathtaking tale of mothers, daughters, stars, and legends, and the old gods and the new. I got this quite a bit ago, and I've been really wanting to read it. It's published by Levine Querido and by Mari Ahokoivu. I apologize, I don't think that's right. But that's what I'm going to choose for this. Next. Pyroar. So this is a fire Pokemon, and a fire Pokemon is to... It's been a while, I feel like, since I've gotten a fire Pokemon, so let me double check. Fire Pokemon is to read a book that everyone is talking about. So everyone was talking about this a lot, and I feel like they're gonna start talking about it again here shortly. But that is Finley Donovan is Killing It by El Casamano. It is published by Minotaur Books. And the reason why I'm saying who it's published by is because I want to make sure that I am not featuring any HarperCollins. If there is a HarperCollins publisher on published book on this TBR and the strike is still going on, you won't be hearing about it. Sorry. But for this one in particular, the reason why I'm interested, so I tried reading this before. I tried reading this through as an audiobook and just wasn't getting into it. It's also at the time, it was also just because I didn't want to deal with real life struggles. So as far as I know, we are following a single mom who is struggling, and she goes to meet her agent at a cafe and talks to the agent about her recent transcript, because I believe she's a writer, and how she ends up describing her recent transcript. Someone overhears and thinks that she is a hit woman, wants to hire her to kill her husband. And I think all of these books are kind of like antics of that. The reason why I want to try this time for February is because Kayla from BooksandLala recently released her Literally Dead book club picks for February, March, and April. And for February is the third book in this series. I would love to participate in the Literally Dead book club. But I haven't read the first one yet, so I'm going to try this again. And I don't know why I'm so wary of it. The audiobook, it wasn't really that bad. I just wasn't feeling it at the time, but it's one of those things that this is so hyped that I feel like I'm going to get into it and I'm going to hate it. So there's that. So, but so that's what I'm picking for Pyroar. I'm trying to go in with an open mind. I'm hoping it'll be funny. I know that I'm going to have to suspend some disbelief, but I think just there's something. Next. is an energy card. So an energy card, basically I have to take the color of the energy and find a book with that color on it. I don't know if I have much purple books. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I think for the psychic energy card, I'm gonna choose is a holographic Galarian Articuno. Holy shit. Okay. Was not expecting this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so holographics have a prompt, but so do psychics, and so does reverse holos. So it's been a while since I've actually gotten an actual holographic. I feel like lately it's been a lot of reverse holos. So let me make sure that I got this right. Okay, so a holographic is most anticipated, but psychic is a thriller. So most anticipated thriller. Okay, so this is a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to choose it because it is an anticipated thriller for me that I hope to get here shortly, and it is out right now, and that is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Now, it's more of a horror, but from what I understand, it's also a psychological thriller. So it's a bit of a stretch. It's maybe a subgenre, but I'm still counting it. So this is my second Grady Hendrix that I would be reading. The first one that I read, it was what was it? The Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which ultimately I enjoyed what emotions it could invoke in me, but ultimately by the end of the book, I felt icky. There was something about that book that made me feel gross. Yeah, I love the cover, but like, I had to get rid of it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it in my house. And I've been curious about giving Grady Hendrix another try, because I've heard great things about his other works, and for some reason, How to Sell a Haunted House, I want it to be my next one from Grady Hendrix before I go into any of his other works. But this one is essentially, we're following two siblings whose parents have died, and they have to go and figure out what to do with their shit and how to sell the house, only to find out that this house doesn't want to be sold. So that's all I know. That's all I really want to know going in. So this is also narrated by Jay Asing and Kayla Asing. And is published by Penguin Random House. So yeah, that is the holographic Articuno. Next. There we go. Sorry, that took a while. So this is a reverse holo mood read. This is a trainer card. And it's a reverse holo. So basically what that means is that I can mood read any backlist title. Right. I'm questioning myself now. Yes. So this means I can read any backlist title. I guess we're a mood read, whatever. So I'm going to put that on hold for now. So next. We have a Pikachu. It's another electric, another quick read, which is great. Because I got this, and I usually am pretty quick at reading graphic novel. Well, this is my second one, so. But for Pikachu, I am wanting to read Teen Titans Beast Boy by Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. I follow Gabriel Piccolo's Instagram, and I absolutely love his work, and read the first one in this series, which was, I believe, Teen Titans A Raven, and really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to get to this one. I don't really know what it's about. It's more of a contemporary style of Teen Titans than what I grew up with, which was Teen Titans, not Go Teen Titans. So yeah, I'm excited. Beast Boy was one of my favorites, second only to Raven. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. And of course, this is published by DC Comics. Next. Is Cutie Fly, which is a sidekick, which is to read another thriller. For Cutie Fly, I think This is also kind of a stretch. I'm going to go with Hide and Seeker by Daka Herman. This one I remember being recommended by Bear from EttuBrody. They were saying that it was a really good middle grade scary book, and I think it's more horror, but I think it's going to be a bit of a thriller too. So most horrors are. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch for me, but that's what I want to go with. From what I understand, this is a middle grade following some young kids whose one of their friends went missing like a year ago. And when he returns, they throw a party and they end up playing hide and seek, only to realize that he didn't disappear. He went into a different dimension and something came back that they call the Seeker that is seeking them. So this sounds really creepy and I've been wanting to read it, so that's what I'm choosing. Next. Eevee, perfect. This is like a normal type Pokemon, so it's a contemporary. And for that, I get to choose one of the books that I've been wanting to, not that any of these books I don't want on my TBR, but this one was one that I was hoping to get on my TBR. And that was Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. Published by Berkeley. PhD candidate Phoebe Walsh has always been obsessed with true crime. She's even analyzing the genre in her dissertation if she can manage to finish writing it. It's hard to find the time while she spends the summer in Florida cleaning out her childhood home, dealing with her obnoxious, good-natured younger brother, and grappling with the complicated feelings of mourning a father she hadn't had a relationship with for years. She thinks that her neighbor might be a serial killer, but she could be wrong. So that's I think this is like kind of screams Valentine's for me. Okay, so if I change it all, or if things have changed at all, it's because my battery died. So I am excited for this. I also have this available to me as an audiobook, so that's really helpful. And next is a Psyduck. I love Psyduck. I'm sorry. But this is a water Pokemon, and that's to read a book that is set in or around water. Also, if it features water at all. I couldn't find a book of the month book that featured water, but I am going to put it on here. A book that I put on my TBR before and wasn't able to get to, but that is Where Light in the Darkness Lies, the story of lighthouses by Veronica Deladora, published by Reaction Books. So basically this is a book about lighthouses. Suspended between sea and sky, battered by the waves and wind, lighthouses mark the battle lines between the elements. They guard the boundaries between the solid human world and the primordial chaos of the waters, between stability and instability, between the known and the unknown. As such, they have a strange universal appeal that few other man-made structures possess. Engineered to draw the gaze of sailors, lighthouses have likewise long attracted the attention of soldiers and saints, artists and poets, novelists and filmmakers, colonizers and migrants, and today more than ever, heritage tourists and developers. Their evocative locations, isolation, and resilience have turned these structures into complex metaphors, magnets for stories. This book explores the rich story of lighthouses and human imagination. So that works well for my nonfiction. If I get it done this time. Okay, so last one is another water. Okay. So I was originally going to go with a title that I found on Libby that had water on it, but really I still have a couple of books I have in my physical collection that I could do for this as well, and so I'm going to switch to one of those, and it's Low Volume 1, the Delirium of Hope, which is a apocalyptic sci-fi graphic novel series that I keep putting on my TBR and have yet to actually read it. But basically, the surface of the earth has been deemed uninhabitable, and humans have created societies within deep depths of the ocean. And several hundred years later,
a crew is set to come back up to the surface of Earth to see if it's even habitable anymore. So that's the basic gist of it. I am still excited about this. I don't know why I keep putting it off. I ultimately love this cover, and it sounds like a really interesting premise. So this is what I'm hoping to use for Tim Pool prompt.
2 books that I would like to add on to here, so I'll use my my mood reads. So the first, neither one of which are going to be a book of the month, so there goes that challenge, but we'll see. The first being is going to be for this backlist mood read, which is Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts by Kate Reculia. I ended up getting, it's a little dusty, sorry. I ended up getting this from a friend who no longer wanted it. Tuesday Mooney is a loner. She keeps to herself, begrudgingly socializes, and spends much of her time watching old Twin Peaks and X-File DVDs. When Vincent Price, Boston's most eccentric billionaire, dies, leaving behind an epic treasure hunt through the city with clues inspired by his hero, Edgar Allan Poe, Tuesday's real-life adventure begins. Puzzle-loving Tuesday searches for clue after clue, joined by a ragtag crew, a wisecracking friend, an adoring teen neighbor, and a handsome, cagey young heir. The hunt tests their mettle, and with other teens from around the city also vying for the promised prize, a share of Price's immense wealth, they must move quickly. Price's clues can't be cracked with sharp wit alone. The researchers must summon the courage to face painful ghosts from their past, some more vivid than others, and discover their most guarded desires and dreams. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It's been one I've been wanting to read for a while, and I believe this is also available through Libby, so this is great. So that's that one. And then one that I've been wanting, something I've been wanting to do too, is to take advantage of the fact that I work at a university library, specifically interlibrary loan. So when I was in college, I always thought that interlibrary loan was specifically for books or articles that I was using for research purposes. It's not really the case. I mean, we don't scrutinize. So I have, now that I'm in this role in interlibrary loan, I have been taking full advantage of it, and ordering myself some books to read that I was unsure about buying. So, excuse me. So I will be, hope for this mood read. I am hoping to read Walk the Vanished Earth by Erin Swan. This was sent up to us from San Francisco Public Library, so thank you so much to them. The year is 1873, and a bison hunter named Samson travels the Kansas plains full of hope for his new country. The year is 1975, and an adolescent girl named Bee walks those very same plains, pregnant, mute, and raised to extreme seclusion. She lands in an institution where a well-meaning psychiatrist struggles to decipher the picture she draws of her past. The year is 2027, and after a series of devastating storms, and a tenacious engineer named Paul has left behind his banal suburban existence to build a floating city above the drowned streets that were once New Orleans. There, his poet daughter, he rules over a society of dreamers and vagabonds who salvage vintage dresses, ferment rot gut wine from fruit, paint murals on the ceiling of the Superdome, and try to write the story of their existence. The year is 2073, and Moon has only heard stories of the blue planet Earth, as they once called it, has now succumbed entirely to water. Now that Moon has come of age, she could become a mother if she wants to. If only she understood what a mother is. Alone on Mars with her 2 alien uncles, she must decide whether to continue her family line and repopulate humanity on a new planet. Sounds like an interesting sci-fi. I'm really kind of intrigued by it, but was hesitant to actually buy it, so thank you to San Francisco Public Library for sending it to me to see if I enjoy it. There's those that I do still have, oddly enough, want to try to read. 2 more books because I'm being ambitious. The first is one that I recently got, and that is Bad Cree by Jessica Johns. This one is an Indigenous authored book. In this gripping horror-laced debut, a Cree woman's dreams lead her on a perilous journey that forces her to confront the toll of a legacy of violence on her family, her community, and the land they call home. This is published by Doubleday. I don't want to know anything more. I love this cover. Yeah. So that's one I'm hoping to get to, and I'm sure that I could possibly switch it out for a mood read if possible, or another one. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. And then another one that I would like to get to. Another one that I would like to get to that feels real appropriate for February is Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I feel like you all have heard about this, so like, do I really need to explain it? But this is published by Berkeley. It's a story of a third-year PhD candidate, Olive, who is trying to mostly get her PhD. Her best friend starts dating her ex, and to prove that she's moved on, she ends up kissing the closest man to her, which happens to be Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and a well-known ass. It's also, I've heard it as like a Rey and Kylo Ren fanfic of sorts. I've heard Ali Hazelwood has a very specific writing style that's more fanfic than anything. I don't know. I just kind of I want to know what the hype is or see where I stand with it. So there's that. So here are the books. I don't think there's any HarperCollins, so that's great. No, I lie. There is one Harper Audio. So, but it's okay because I don't have it physically. But yeah, so let me see here. So we do have a book of the month book. Hopefully, if I can fit it in there somewhere. An Indigenous authored book. One, if I can fit it on there somewhere. A library book, which would be awesome. A nonfiction. The buzzword for February is a verb, and there are plenty in here. And then for the Magical Readathon Challenge for the year, so I went on to the right path, I believe. It's whatever one was to finish a series. I believe it was to turn right. And then I can choose between a book with a building on the cover, which is to go into the castle, or go into the cave, which was to read a book with just words on the title. And I think this will actually work perfect. Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts, another buzzword, has buildings on the cover, but also so does this lighthouse, as well as Hide and Seeker, as well as Walk, The Vanishing Earth. Yeah, so I think that'll do good if I can get these done. I think this is being really ambitious. This is something I tend to do. Hopefully I don't get in a release by March. So yeah, if you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts. Please no spoilers. Otherwise, if you made it this far, let's put, you know what, let's go cheesy Valentine's and go, let's put a rose emoji. Why not? Yeah, if you made it this far, because I know this is going to be a long video. And I thank you for sticking to it. Yeah. So yeah, that is the video. I hope that you remember to like, subscribe if you have yet to do so, and I hope that you're in a mental mindset to enjoy your reading. I'll see you in another video very soon. Ciao.